Today marks another historic milestone in the history of the cosmos. Aquarius3E reached 500 subscribers on YouTube. Every single person, every single one of you, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Each person represents not just themselves, but the entire cosmic body that they come from. Every person is significant, every person is important, and that's how I built this thing, Aquarius3E, from the ground up, was from person to person, from heart to heart. And I'll never stop, honestly. Even when I'm at the top of the top, I'll behave like a starving boy from Bangladesh. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls and he's still playing at 44, but at least he got drafted in the 6th round. I never even got drafted. Actually, there isn't even a league that can contain me. I have to create my own league. And this lifestyle that I created here on my bicycle, that is my office. This is where I do a lot of my thinking and my writing, is while I'm riding my bike. I eat on the go, think on the go, write on the go on the go. I know I'm really close. I can feel it with changes occurring in my environment and on the global stage. Everything is being set. And with being the Uber Dylan, I had to do it this way. Everyone saw me and watched it happen unfold between their eyes. We all had the same opportunity, and so no one will say he got lucky or he just doesn't deserve it. Everyone will say that Playboy just wanted it better than everyone else. Good for him. And many will follow. And I reflect a lot on how I work and what I'm doing. And a lot of it's a lot like jamming, like how a musician is jamming. You're vibing throughout the day. I'm noodling on a doodle, doodling on a poodle. I'm just figuring stuff out. I work on it, it gets on, I move on, it comes back. Eventually, it's all done. So I think this is a really good way to work because there aren't any strict deadlines. There's no quota I have to hit. Everything is very natural. It just follows the course of nature. So there's very little stress involved. And particularly with the creative arts, those people who are in a creative industry, I mean, you really try to create something great under a lot of stress and pressure. You know, you might be able to do it for a short period of time because you have some kind of inspiration or motivation that's pushing you, but over a long period of time, I don't think it's sustainable. People get burned out. And so this method that I created, I think it's really good. It's something that's going to allow me to keep doing this for as long as I can. As long as heaven will allow me to keep doing this, I will keep doing it forever. And for those of you who watched my previous video, it's called My AMC Story. You know, that's a really historic video because I'm basically calling out, you know, what's going to happen with AMC and GME in this short squeeze, and there's probably going to be some sort of a market crash that's going to go along with it. Again, this is not financial advice, but I think it's pretty interesting because it's like, you know, Babe Ruth, he's like pointing to the fences and he's calling out his home run, right? He's like pointing to the fence. At least that's what the legend says. Babe Ruth pointed to the fence and he called a home run, and then the next pitch he hit a home run. And I'm doing that sort of thing, but on a more cosmic level. I'm calling out the rise and fall of financial institutions, political movements, tech companies, a lot of different things. And, you know, I'm just this person, this kid on a bike. So it's coming from a very humble perspective. And I've talked about this before, but heaven works through very humble people because humble people will ensure that the will of heaven, the plan of heaven, can go through and be fulfilled. And that film that I made, the short film, the My AMC story, I wrote the script for that video, and I actually saw the shots, I heard the music, and I knew the editing I was going to do even before I picked up a camera. It was all in my mind. And so I wonder if that's how Stanley Kubrick and those great directors, if that's how they work. And I'm not trying to show off, I'm just illustrating a point that I can actually see these things even before I've picked up a camera. And I think that's pretty cool. And I guess to reach this level, you'd have to be a real Greek freak like Giannis Antetokounmpo to do that. And I think all of the great directors, they're really just teachers or professors at the end of the day. They're transmitting an idea or message from the cosmos to their audience. And so, a lot of people growing up, you call me weird, strange, call me a freak, and these sort of things. And those things hurt. It would be a lie to say that they didn't hurt. But all of that, they're giving me their virtue. When people say mean things to you, that's why you should thank them. That's why Jesus said, turn the other cheek, right? Is because by doing bad things or mean things to you, they're actually helping you. They're giving you their virtue. And I think that the term freak and weird and these sort of things, like, I'm going to actually make them positive. They're going to have like a positive connotation. And, it, like I said, I really believe Aquarius3E, it will change the fabric of society on every level, every single level, from, how companies work to how families, can harmonize themselves, men and women. All of these things, it's going to harmonize everything. And San Francisco is the place that was perfect for me to do it. It's an interesting place, and it's a place with a lot of searchers, people with a lot of questions, question everything, wondering about everything, wanderers, thinkers, thinking about the world. Even question whether you're a man or woman. Who knows, with the whole transgender thing. And you know what? The other day, it was 84 degrees in San Francisco, and I told everyone in the city, I said, stay inside and hydrate as much as possible. And all of the out-of-towners may not think much of 84 degrees, but when it's consistently 68 to 72 with a nice breeze from the bay, 84 may as well be 136 degrees. We're very delicate over here. And, that AMC video, that's really, it's like you're living out a story, right? And you're not sure how it's going to play out, but now it's more the time to reflect and put everything together. Because when you're in the battle, in the fog of war, it's hard to know what is really true, which is the correct path. A lot of it is just instinct, hoping for the best, being positive and relying on faith. Actually, Steve Jobs gave a commencement address at Stanford University where he talked about this. And he said, when you're going forward, you may not be able to understand how all the dots connect. Only when you look back can you understand how the dots are all connected. So it takes an incredible amount of faith, belief in yourself, a higher power, God, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, in order to see your mission through and make it to the end. And when Aquarius3E hit 500 subscribers, it was about a week ago that it happened. A week ago to when I'm recording this. It was a huge milestone for me. For us to hit 500 subs, it's all like getting rush yards against a great D line in the first, second, and third quarter. Nothing is easy, but by doing that, it'll make the fourth quarter in my favor because, we've worn out the defense, those old forces, those things that want to stop us from achieving this historic mission. And 500 is a significant number. Actually, I performed a Dr. Seuss book called The 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins in high school, and remember all the laughs I got from that performance. And I probably performed that speech over 1,000 times in the course of a year. And I think that's what makes someone scary good, is you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's this constant repetition. So you never have, you don't really have any fear because you've done it so many times that fear is like eliminated from your heart. You're no longer scared. Actually, Michael Jordan talked about that too. He said, have I been nervous before games? Yes, sure. I think it's a natural thing to be nervous, but afraid? No. And he said it's because he put the work in, he put the time in. So he did everything in his power so that he was confident in his abilities to see it through and go up against whoever he's going to go up against, right? He did everything he could. And Tom Brady said something similar to that. He said it's like you go into a game, and if you studied, like you put the work in and you studied well, like you studied for a test, you don't really have any fear going into the test because you're going in and you put the work in, you know as much as you can. And so you're not afraid. And I think it's the same thing with what I've done here with Aquarius3E. The body of work is immense. It's so broad, it's so profound. Eventually people are going to catch on and see what we're doing here. And, the other day I went to Bevmo to pick up an order, and I said, give me your strongest root beer, please, because I don't drink. I said, we pouring one out tonight for Tupac and Steve Jobs and John Lennon and all the playboys who laid it all on the line. My ride or die nanas. And I just think my imagination is pretty fantastic. A lot of people, the creative folk, they need a lot around them to make it work. They need writers, producers, emotional support. They need all these kind of connections, the right opportunity, this and that. A lot of luck too, but I just think once in a very long historical period would come along someone like me. And I don't really need anyone, and yet I make the whole world better. I always offer a kind word, my help and support to like anyone who asks for it. And I wrote a nice thing a couple years ago when I first started riding my bike. I said, what shall be my fate? I do not know. I've prepared very little with me, but provisions and the elven fleece which to protect against the orcs. May the Shire be at peace, for I know not shall I see the sun rise there again someday. So I'm like pretending I'm Frodo, right? That I'm going on this journey, with the One Ring to like throw it into Mordor. I'm creating a story, taking stories that already exist and making an analogy to my story so like people can understand, like what I'm doing. And, you see someone like me talking about Aquarius, the cosmos, the universe, how it's just like a big brain and we're entering a new age and it's all connected, and then you see, videos like this that I'm making and the photographs that I take and all of these things, and you think, maybe that Playboy for real. I think over time, people are going to realize, like, everything that I've been talking about, it's like the real deal, and all of the other stuff that's going on outside in the world, it's like secondary. Like the main path is like what I'm doing. And I think all of the main culture will follow what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. I sincerely believe that. And the other night I wrote like a little Jack Kerouac piece. I said, busy night in the city. A black cat yawns on 2nd and Tehama looking for his mama. Queen Latifah orders a Chipotle Mexican grill. Wrong order. Jimmy G goes over Shanahan's playbook. May even lead the team to a Super Bowl. Windows, lights, camera, action, Michael Jackson. So that kind of improv style writing, the ticker tape writing that he did, where he's just kind of like stream of consciousness, I think it had a huge influence on Bob Dylan as well. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of how far we've come, and look forward to just keep going, keep doing the same thing, over and over and over again. And I just think it's just a matter of time before the world wakes up and people see how beautiful this thing that I've done is, Aquarius3E. This thing was a huge sacrifice. You think about that. It's like about 15 years of my life, just kind of giving it up to go on like a spiritual journey and attain the ultimate wisdom, attain the truth, so that I could fulfill this wish that I had in my heart, the real vision that I had, like when I set out, and I always tell people, it's not the smartest or the strongest who wins, but rather who can make the greatest sacrifice, who can endure the greatest hardship and still persevere with that original wish in their heart to the end. And I think that quote, along with more humble than a blade of grass, bolder than a soaring eagle, that quote definitely embodies what I'm about, what Aquarius3E is about. Because, like I said, 15 years, sacrificed my life, don't really have a social life, barely in contact with my family. I'm just focused on what I'm doing, and the whole time I'm in like serious chronic pain from the botched orthodontic procedure that happened. I think all of that is a divine arrangement. Because if you think about it, if I didn't have all of that pain, then maybe I end up having a cozy, comfy life and a happy life, and I end up, working for an insurance company and doing pretty well, making money. I buy a house and, start a family, and that's all great. That's all fine and good. But I think my life, it was meant for something else. It was meant for something far greater, to awaken something in humankind that had never been awakened before. And I'm darn proud of what I did. I think this whole thing is being watched over by the heavens. I think they're really helping and guiding me through this. And, my willpower is just like immense. It's just an immense will. I refuse to lose. I refuse to settle for anything less than what, this vision that I have in my heart. And so I'm darn proud of that, and proud to just keep on moving forward. Thanks everyone for watching this video, following along, seeing what I'm doing here on my bicycle, and keep an eye out for more happy and exciting videos coming together in the future. Thank you.